Hey, I just wanted to encourage you guys. If you got kids with special needs, man, go out there and get you some help. My kids are 16 to 17 years old. And when they was growing up, I felt like things was going to get better, you know? I felt like they was going to grow out of it. Damn. I felt like, yeah, like I said, I felt like they was going to grow out of it. I felt like I could handle it. I could do everything by myself. I didn't really need a support system, you know? But I'm gonna be the first one to tell y'all that's false information. Raising kids is hard in general. You know what I mean? If your kids are normal, it's difficult. We don't get a manual. You know what I mean? But having kids that are on the spectrum is extremely hard. You know what I mean? Like when they was growing up, teachers used to say, you know, they was having learning disabilities. They was struggling here, struggling there. I had to sit through IEP meetings, and it was my own pride that was really getting in the way of them really getting the help they need with the ABA therapy, with the speech therapist, you know, like just the Marcus Institute, like just different things, you know what I mean? Because I had my own struggles too. Then I had a little girl that was normal, so I was being pulled everywhere. And when I tell you, it does not get better unless you get help. You gotta have somebody in your corner. You gotta have these organizations. You gotta reach out to people, because if you don't, you're gonna end up being stressed out. You're gonna isolate yourself. You're gonna it's a struggle, and a lot of people don't understand what it's like to have children with special needs. Now, with them growing up, they always had the bladder incontinence and they had bowel incontinence. And when I tell you, it's still to this day, like I still have to clean up shit. I have to clean up piss. I have thrown all kind of things away because I got tired of scrubbing it out. I got tired of washing the clothes. I got tired of, you know, like every being of me was towards my kids. I had no time to breathe or nothing. And I'm just now getting assistance where they can get respite care. Somebody will come in and, you know, just tend to them. You know, give them the time and attention that they need. And just because you are a parent of special needs children it does not mean that you're skilled. You know, you got people that are getting these jobs, they're taking these classes, you know, getting these degrees and specializing in taking care of people with special needs. You know, don't be ashamed because you need help. Do not allow other people to make you feel some type of way because you're seeking help. You know your limitations just like I knew mine. You know, every day or every other day. And don't let them get sick. I'm cleaning up behind them. You know, and then it gets to the point where, you know, you have to cook up your food in the house because they overeaters. You know, or they'll eat raw food, or, you know, it's just so much you have to look out for when you have kids with special needs. And I count my blessings because it really could be a lot worse. I mean, you have different levels of autism. You know, you got different levels of special needs, different levels of disability. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, they take for granted that they have children that are normal. You know, it's not easy. If you out here and you got children that are on the spectrum, reach out to Medicaid, call 211, ask them for resources, And you can go to your local DFAS, but I've been to my local DFAS 15 times. I done called my local DFAS on myself over 15 times. And all they did was give me a pamphlet. And half of the pamphlets or the packet is resources for children that are 18 and older. Not teenagers, not toddlers. You know what I mean? I think ABA therapy and Babies Can't Wait, both of those are good places. You know, they're good, but you need something that's gonna give you back. You know what I'm saying? Give you that time and attention that you need to take care of yourself. Give you that time that you need to go out there and work and make a living for yourself. You know what I mean? I used to question myself. I used to blame myself. I didn't know what was the problem. You know, I used to blame the vaccinations. Like, it's the vaccinations between 2007, 2008 that did it. I don't know. My in-laws, they used to use this shit called hot shot. She had a bunch of fucking roaches in her house, and she used to set off foggers at night. And I Googled hot shot one day, and that's linked to autism, pesticides, it's poison. You gotta, when your children are in the developmental stage while you're pregnant, you gotta be careful who you be around and what you be around, because a lot of things can mess you up, can mess your baby up, But my best advice to anybody out there that's willing to listen is to get those resources. Get those resources. And if you get in food stamps, you can get Medicaid. You get Medicaid, you can get a therapist. I was talking to a therapist for 7 years. 7 years. Because you cannot do this alone. You cannot. You need a support system. You got Autism Speaks. You got FAVOR. You got different organizations. And don't be like me, waiting until you done reach the limit of you cannot do this anymore and you about to crash out. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about it, it's not the children's fault to have autism. They are the most loving, the most kind, the most pure-hearted people on this earth. You know what I mean? I used to discipline my kids back in the day. And when I did, the next day, not even the next day, probably in the next 5-10 minutes, they saying, I love you. I love you, opening the door for me, blowing me kisses. And I used to feel so bad, man. I used to just ball up in a fetal position and cry. I remember when I used to get whoopings or whatever, I used to hold grudges for like a week or two, maybe even longer. Like, yeah, you whooped me. Like, you really whooped me. But they don't even think like that, man. The best thing you can do for yourself, because if you're not mentally stable, if you're not mentally well, your kids are not going to be mentally stable. They're not going to be mentally well because they feed off your energy. If you get to the point where you can't even get up and cook, if you don't even feel like bathing, you don't feel like bathing them, like, it's hard, man. It's hard to think about. And then you got to think about when they turn 18. Are you going to continually do it? Are you going to continually be their caregiver? Are you going to put them in a group home? Are you going to put them in a transitional living? Like, it's so much you got to think about. And a lot of people do get those jobs and they don't do right. But when I tell you, people that are evil, they don't be evil long. They always get caught. So don't let the anxieties and the fear of getting you help stop you from getting help, because your mental health is very valuable. I was on a crisis line the other day for 2 hours talking to these people, and
The main thing I really wanted out of the whole thing, I wasn't feeling suicidal or homicidal, but I was gonna crash out because I had just cleaned up, and I was like, damn, it's another accident, some more shit I gotta clean up. Like, damn, you know what I mean? But the main thing that I really wanted out of that whole conversation was somebody to hear me, somebody to hear my pain, like to understand. And 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't even say 9 times out of 10, maybe like 5 times out of 10, people understand you and they get it, but they don't really know what you're going through. First of all, unless you really just voice and tell people what you're really going through, or they have experienced it themselves and they know what you're going through. So, but my advice, get you some help, man. If you got young kids on the spectrum, get you some help early, man. Talk to them kids, teachers, talk to your churches, talk to these people that got they got resources that can help you, man, because it's a lot of money out there. It's a lot of resources out there. And then another thing to think about is when you're applying for things like now income waiver, apply for family support, apply for respite care, apply for intensive support, apply for different things. So they don't tell you that when you apply for one thing, that you got to apply for another thing. You got to apply for everything separately. So just keep that in mind as well. If you out there, I hope y'all get the help you need, man. And don't stop. And maybe if you find something out, reach out or make a TikTok and help somebody else. Because a lot of people don't know this information. A lot of people don't know about resources and how to reach out. It's hard. But it's harder when you try to do it by yourself. You need a village. If your family won't support you, you don't have a family support system, build your own family support system. Get these resources that are out there. Paid, skilled nurses to come in, respite care, peer support, and community, they'll look out.